Right, good afternoon. Richard here again, going through SANS 101, 4.2. Today we're going to be covering definitions. Now, we're not going to go through all the definitions as there are too many to do in one video. There's about 80 to 90 definitions. So definitions is number 3. What I normally do is I just highlight and mark out what is quickly understandable and how to understand the words. So definition is number 3. This is for the purposes of this part of SANS. The following definitions shall apply. So 3.1 is acceptable. So acceptable to the regulator, to the government. So I haven't seen this one yet in some of the questions, so it's not that common. Accessible, so it's not permanently closed in by the structure or surface of a premises. So you note that I've only marked a not permanently closed. So accessible is you can access the area. Right, let's look at appliance. Before we go through to the other appliances, let's just look what an appliance is. It is a machine, tool, device or instrument that is operated by electricity for which the purpose of doing work or for providing heat, light, motion, or in which electrical energy is modified into another form. So it is any machine, device or instrument that is operated by electricity. That is an appliance for the purpose of doing work or providing heat. Now we go to a class 1 appliance. Class 1 appliance that has at least a basic insulation throughout. So at least the basic insulation throughout, and that is provided with an earthing terminal or an earth contact, and is designed in case of single phase for connection by means of a 3-core flexible cable cord. So what you need to remember on this one is a class 1 appliance is a appliance with an earthing terminal. So you'll have your live and your neutral and a earth. A class 2 appliance that has double insulation or reinforced insulation throughout, and that is without provision of earth. So this is an appliance where you get your twin plug appliances that should be double insulated or reinforced insulation without provision of an earth. So later in the book we'll see a symbol like that is a double insulation. Going over to fixed appliance that is fastened or otherwise secured in a specific location, and that would require the use of tools to be moved. So use of tools to be moved to another location. A portable appliance that is moved through the course of normal operation. A stationary appliance that is normally not moved or cannot easily be moved while in operation. So it is not moved, cannot easily be moved while in operation. So there is a difference between a fixed and a stationary appliance. So a stationary appliance is not moved. Right, going to arm's reach. Now, volume that is limited by the relevant of the following distance measured from the surface expected to be occupied by a person. So arm's reach is the surface expected to be occupied by a person. 2.5 meters vertically up, 1.5 meters vertically downwards from the outer edge of the surface, 1.25 meters horizontally inwards from the outer edges or the surface, 0.75 meters horizontally inwards from the outer edges. Authorized, that is authorized by the relevant regulator. A bathroom, room or part of a room that contains a bath, shower or a spa. Each installed as a fixture. So remember, a bathroom contains a bath, shower or a spa, and each is installed as a fixture. Building element, part of a premises such as a wall, floor or ceiling or partition. So it's part of a premises. Right, looking at cable. Length of one or more insulated cores that has a solid or stranded conductors that are assembled together during the manufacture and that may or may not have an overall mechanical covering. So a cable has solid or stranded conductors, wires, and that is assembled during manufacturing. Now, different types of cable. Armored cable, a cable that has covering of a metallic wires. So remember, armored cable, covering of metallic wires or galvanized steel wires. That protects against mechanical damage. So that is, mechanical damage is force. Flexible cable, so it's conductors that consist of strands of a diameter not exceeding 0.15 millimeter, and of which the insulation and covering are such so that they can afford flexibility. Right? Flexible cord, cable of which, so now we're looking at a flexible cord. It still falls under cable. That has a nominal cross section of an area of each conductor that does not exceed 4 millimeters squared. So each conductor, so each wire, each conductor consists of strands of a diameter less than 0.31. Mineral insulated metal sheath cable, cable in which the conductors are insulated by a highly compressed, refined, refractorated mineral insulation. So it's a highly compressed, or it's insulated by highly compressed, refractorated mineral insulation material. Or just to come back, flexible cable, I've seen it in one of the tests for the installation rules paper 1. Right, multi-core cable, a cable that consists of at least 2 cores. It's a multi 2, 3, 4 core cable. Unarmored metal sheathed cable, cable that has a sheath of metal to exclude moisture from the conductors. So this cable excludes moisture from the conductors and the insulation. Cable gland mechanical. So we're looking at the one that we use on armored cables. Device designed to permit entry. Permit entry of an armored cable, flexible cable or insulated conductor to an enclosure, into an enclosure that provides sealing and retention. So on a side note, cable gland may also provide other functions such as earthing, bonding, insulation and cable guarding, strain relief and combination of these. Certificate of Compliance, COC. This is what we all want to do. It is a certificate that is issued by a registered person in respect of an electrical installation or part of electrical installations. 310. Chief Inspector. Chief Inspector in terms of the relevant health and safety legislation. Circuit. An arrangement of conductors for the purpose of carrying conductor or carrying current. So it's for the purpose of carrying electric current. Protected extra low voltage, PELV circuit. I have seen this in one of the questions. Extra low voltage circuit with protective separation from other circuits, and which for the functional reason may be earthed and or the exposed conductive parts which may be earthed. So it is a protective with protective separation from other circuits, and which for the functional reasons may be earth and the exposed conductive part of which may be earth. PELV protected extra low voltage circuits are used where the circuit is earth and the SELV is not required. So just a quick one, we'll do that one now. So to remember, protected extra low voltage circuits are earth and a safety extra low voltage circuit is not required. Okay, now going to this one. You'll either get that one or one of these two in one of your tests. I've seen them now asked a few times. Right, so it's an extra low voltage circuit with protective separation from other circuits. So it's protective separation from other circuits, the same as that one, and which has no provision for earthing. You see the difference? So remember, PELV requires an earth. The other one has no provision for earth. So that's how you remember them. Going to circuit breaker. So it's a mechanical switching device. First of all, you need to switch it. Capable of making, carrying and breaking currents under normal circuit conditions, and of making, carrying for specific time, and automatically breaks current under specific abnormal circuit conditions such as an overcurrent. So it's also an automatic breaking of currents. Okay, note we'll see multi-pole circuit breaker, which is number 50, so we'll get to that one. Conductive part. Any part that is capable of conducting electric current. Exposed conductive part. Conductive part that is can easily be touched. Is not a live part under normal conditions. So under normal conditions it should not be live, but it can become live under fault conditions. Extraneous conductive parts. Conductive part that is not form a part of an electrical installation. So it does not form part of an electrical installation. So examples of extraneous conductive parts are structural metalworks of a building, heating tubes, non-electrical apparatus electrically connected to them, such as radiators and gas-fired or coal-fired cooking appliances. Floors or walls that may or are made of conductive materials. So conductor, it is a material that is capable of conducting electric current. So conductor and conductive part is more or less the same. So we're going to look at some conductors, aerial conductors. Conductor that is exposed above the ground or exposed direct to the open air. A bonding conductor, conductor including any clamp or terminal. So it's any clamp or terminal that is connected together to the exposed conductive parts. Extraneous conductive parts, or both exposed and extraneous conductive parts, with the object of bringing such parts in the same electrical potential. So it's a bonding conductor is a clamp or terminal that is connected to bring things together. Core is a single insulated conductor without protective covering. Earthing conductor, continuity conductor, so it's an earthing conductor there. Conductor including any clamp or terminal, so that's again it's a clamp or terminal that connects the consumer's earthing terminal to exposed conductive parts of an installation for the purpose of earthing such parts and carrying fault currents. Functional bonding conductor, conductor provided for the function of bonding equipment. Equipment bonding. Functional earthing conductor is the same thing, provided for functional earthing. Protective bonding conductor. Protective conductor, it's called a PE, provided for the protective equipment bonding. Protective conductor is a PE again. Conductor provided for the purpose of safety, protection against electrical shock. The purpose is for safety. That is also connects the supply earth to the consumer's earth terminal. Protective earth and neutral conductor. So, protective conductor connects to the earthing terminal. Protective earth and neutral conductor, P and E and PE, PE and E conductor. Conductor that forms part of a supply, combination or function of both protective earthing conductor and neutral conductor. So I've seen this one in the questionnaires as well. Protective earthing conductor. Protective earthing conductor for protective earthing. Conduit. Pipe usually of a diameter not exceeding 50 millimeter that allows conductors and cables in electric installation to be drawn in and to be replaced. So it's a pipe, first of all, not exceeding 50 millimeter that allows conductors and cables in an electric installation to be drawn in and to be replaced. So it allows conductors and cables in an electrical installation to be drawn in. Consumer, a person who is supplied with electricity by a supplier, or a person who supplies his own electricity. Consumer's earth terminal that is effectively and permanently earthed, and to which the earth continuity conductor of an installation is permanently connected. Contractor, contactor, remote controlled switching device. Remember, you need to switch your contactors on and off. So it's remotely controlled. You need to push a button. Converter, a machine or device for converting one form of electrical power into a different form of electrical power. So this is from your AC to DC. So again, cord, see flexible cord. Current, flow of electrical charge through a conductor. Conditional short circuit current, a value of a prospective current which the equipment, when protected by a short circuit protecting device as specifically or specified by a manufacturer, can withstand the operating time of a device under specific test conditions. So it is a short circuit protector device, withstand for the operating time of the device under specific test conditions. Earth fault current that flows to earth. Earth leakage current that flows to earth in an electrical damaging or undamaged circuit. Fault current that results from an installation failure. Current that results from an installation failure or from bridging of insulation. Overcurrent, current that exceeds the rated current. Overload current that occurs in an electrical undamaged circuit. Prospective short circuit current, value of overcurrent at a given point in the circuit, for which results from a fault or negligible impedance between live conductors. So that is from a fault or negligible impedance between live conductors. Shock current that passes through the body of a person or an animal and that has such value depending on the frequency, harmonics, and duration that injury is likely to occur. Short circuit current, overcurrent that results from fault or negligible impedance in a circuit. So that's again fault in a circuit. A discharge lamp, lamp in which light or a radiant energy of wavelength near that or visible spectrum is produced by the passage of an electrical current through a vapor or glass. So it's a lamp in which light is produced by the passage of electrical current through a vapor or gas. Discharge lighting, lighting that is provided by luminaires in which discharge lamps are used. So it's luminaires in which discharge lamps are used. Disconnector, so it's a mechanical switching device for the reasons of safety. Provides an open position and isolating distance in accordance with specific requirements. It is capable of opening and closing a circuit either with a negligible current is broken or made, or when insufficient change in the voltage across the poles of a disconnector occurs, and is capable of carrying current under normal circuit conditions, and of carrying for a specific time current specific abnormal circuit conditions such as those of a short circuit. So the note here is a disconnector was known as a off isolator. So that's it for tonight. We'll continue with distribution board tomorrow, and have a safe evening.